everything.
Oh,
yeah.
There's a place.
Like a rundown hotel that says
Go right.
towards the back.
I mean, it's open.
Mine's hospital. So it's gnarly. It was wild. Yeah. I like bears. Everyone's like, no, it's bear. And I'm like, it was like hair stuff, it's a wheel and everything. I have it in a little vial. Yeah. You know how they put belts on their legs?
It doesn't have a mean bone in his body.
Oh, it's something bigger than that.
Oh, never mind.
Well,
Sorry, I'm gonna go into a bubble. I'm in the bubble.
all right, 6:30, we will call to order. Kim, you got roll call?
Got it.
And in front of you is the approval for the October 10th, 2024 agenda.
I would like to add an item to the agenda. I'd like to add a motion to set a public hearing for a couple of ordinances that should be coming to us at the November meeting. Ms. Hodge, do you need specific ordinance numbers or?
No, so you would be item G1 you're adding?
Sure, if that's the appropriate place for it.
That's going to be other business. I'll support your motion. Is that all?
I'm sorry, add the item and then approve the agenda as presented.
Okay,
I support it.
okay.
That was going to G1, correct?
Yeah.
Or any discussion? Sorry. All those aye, all those opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. And then held on September 12th of 2024. On that. Seeing none, I can make motions, right?
Mhm.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes held on September 12th, 2024.
Support.
And supported by Commissioner Atwood. Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all those opposed? None? Seeing none, motion carries. This is now the public comment section where you can address the commission that has nothing or that's not on the agenda. If you choose to speak, we're going to just say your name and address and you have 3 minutes. I'll open it up. Seeing none, I will close. And our public hearings scheduled for tonight is -1, Class A non-conforming use at 1313 Emily City Road. Alex, take it away.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Class A non-conforming at 1331 Inland City Road by Midstate Well. This is an aerial shot of the site, kind of wedged in between other commercial industrial properties along Inland City Road. It is currently zoned B2, general business. And the future land use classification has the same parcel as industrial. There's no proposal for rezoning at this time by the applicant. For standards, there are 4 standards, A through D. I've broken up the first one, 2 parts based on finding of facts. So standard A is continuance of the use or structure does not significantly depress property values or nearby properties. Finding of facts, 30 properties located along Inland City Road, roughly half a mile west of Inland City Road and Myers Road intersection. The surrounding properties include Thompson Motors to the west and 2 marijuana processing centers to the south and a vacant building to the east. The existing proposed use of land is office space with some warehousing, just kind of storing commercial material. This is permitted use of land in the B2 General Business District. Additionally, finding of facts, the former building was damaged by fire and therefore was raised. The applicant proposing to reconstruct the building under the same footprint as the existing structure of the site. The proposed structure, the site would not comply with the overhead door, not facing the street, nor would a side yard of green belt of 10 feet with a required along the north-south property line. The applicant is requesting to install green belt that are less than 10 feet in width. Off-street parking shall not be permitted with a front door. We'll also require that the applicant also comply with other ordinance requirements if they proceed with a site plan review and building permits. Staff does not appear that the continuation of the existing structure and site would depress the property values of neighboring parcels. The applicant's response is the new building will be constructed to meet the city's exterior building material requirements, and the previous building did not meet that requirement. So they're noting an improvement to the site. Standard B, continuance of the use or structure would not be contrary to the public health, safety, welfare of this chapter or the ordinance. The surrounding area is B2 and industrial 1. The surrounding area is also commercial industrial in nature. Staff comments, continuance of the existing structure and site would not be contrary to public health, safety, welfare, or spirit of the zoning ordinance. Applicant's response is the continued use of the property is in harmony with the surrounding businesses. Standard C, no useful purpose would be served by the strict application of the provisions of this chapter with which the use or structure do not conform. Finding of facts, the existing proposed site and structure would not comply with the requirements of the overhead doors as they're proposing to meet the public street. Public parking location setbacks and landscape buffer, the side yard. The subject parcel lot is roughly 75 feet wide, noting the kind of the constraints of parking and setbacks and landscaping buffering. The strict application of all provisions of the zoning ordinance would be very burdensome to the applicant. The subject parcel is quite narrow, only 75 feet lot width. Installing the desired overhead doors at this location on the site, not facing the public street, would be challenging, maybe impossible, given the required turning radius of larger trucks utilizing those overhead doors if they're placed in the rear of the property. Applicant's response is a strict application would eliminate the ability to construct overhead doors due to the lot width. Standard D, the final standard, is the property cannot be reasonably used as currently zoned. Finding of facts, the B2 zoning district has a wide range of permitted uses. The subject property is similar to other similar or nearby properties given the narrow size. The parcel dimensions is 35 by 250, so narrow and quite deep. Staff comments, due to the size of this lot, the planning department believes that it would be difficult to repurpose this existing site and structure in any other use. The planning department believes that for redevelopment of the site, a new construction building, there would be many development challenges to address the on-site retention of stormwater parking to accommodate building size, parking lot requirements, and landscaping requirements. The applicant's response is the property has been continuously utilized until the structure was destroyed. The property is narrow and small in size. It would be difficult to develop another use. Staff recommendation is that the staff's approval of the Class A non-conforming building designation requested by Mid-State Well Drillers at 1333 Inland City Road because it meets all standards in section 720.2A.
Thank you, Alex. Pretty sure that was applicant here. Just anything on outstanding or pretty?
Corey Mabry, data science survey. We help with the application together with the information. And I think essentially this is one of those that are pretty straightforward. The building burned down. We just really want to replace it, put it back where it was, better material. It was more of a barn type structure. This will be brick and stone, meet the city requirements. We just can't really move it, shift it, increase it. Just do the size of the lot. It really is what it is. And it was one of those properties that for the most part was continually used when it was put in, I think in 2002, 2003. So it is something that can be used. I think there is a need for it. It just kind of is what it is.
Thank you very much. Any other discussion or questions?
Mr. Chair, I do have a few questions for Mr. Pitku. Sir, do you know what the use of this property was immediately prior to the fire that destroyed it?
Maybe the applicant could elaborate more. I believe it was a tire, auto-related type use, possibly some storing of items from mid-state well drill. So I'm not entirely sure. I know there was definitely automotive related in the front of the garage doors and putting the vehicle on the side.
So the reason I'm asking is because, of course, I read the fire report when it burned down, and as I understand it was being used for warehousing and storage for a third-party business. And so that relates back to your comment earlier about warehousing being permitted use in this business district. I'm reading straight from 7.06-1. Warehousing and storage facilities when incident to and physically connected with any principal use permitted, provided that such facility be within the confines of the building or part thereof occupied by said establishment. Now, I know we're not here on a site plan review, we're not discussing the use of the building. But, if the applicant is going to be mid-state well drillers, to be allowing of a warehousing use, shouldn't it be warehousing of that business and not a third-party business?
Yeah, I think that's accurate.
So that is something that I will certainly be looking at as part of a site plan review. And then, of course, the exterior materials, it was addressed briefly, but this body, of course, has had discussion previously about permitted exterior materials. And, at the site plan review, it's something also I will be reviewing. But as far as the matter before us today, Class A non-conforming use, if they're going to be within their footprint, it's a very small piece of property. I don't think it's going to be out of place. Even with the future land use being industrial, the building being proposed could very easily be transformed into an industrial use. So I don't see any problem from that point of view.
Thank you. Any more discussion? More questions?
Am I holding up people from watching the game?
No. I got it.
Open
It's
the
pretty.
public hearing too.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do I open it now?
Whenever.
Okay, I can open the public hearing on this matter. And if you choose to speak, you have 3 minutes and state your name and address. Seeing none, I will close the public hearing or public comment section. Yes. And back to open discussion. Pretty straightforward. I'm willing to make the motion that we approve the Class A non-conforming use requested by Midstate Well of parcel number L20-83-485-040-00 located at 1330 Emily City Road because the request meets the standard A in section 1.20.02.a for approval for a Class A non-conforming use.
Second.
And we have a second on that. Any more discussion?
Just briefly, Mr. Riku, is this the appropriate body to be approving of a non-conforming use instead of the ZBA?
That's an excellent question. So it was brought before the planning commission to review if this non-conforming use would qualify under section 720 -2 A1 D, if a Class A non-conforming structure may be rebuilt if the structure is damaged or destroyed. So the applicant is wishing to rebuild the property as it once was, obviously with the doors facing, overhead doors facing the street, making all the necessary parking adjustments and buffering to accommodate this building back to itself. So given the technicality of the zoning ordinance and the request, if there's some conditions or things that the planning commission feels if they want to either allow or waive, given the circumstances of non-conformity, it's within your purview to look at that or move it to the ZBA for potential interpretation or request of a variance from the applicant to build the building back the way they want it. I think, the provision in 720.02A1D allows the applicant that avenue to come before you to kind of rebuild that building as they had it prior to the fire. So,
Okay. Generally speaking, I'm opposed to approving nonconformities, but at least according to my eyes, it seems as though this request meets the legal requirements. And as I stated previously, we're not talking about the use today. We're talking about the building, and I think it otherwise meets the requirements. So,
Good deal. We have a motion and support. Although, any more discussion? All those in favor?
I
All those opposed? Seeing none, motion passes.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome. All right, and now we go down to our site plan reviews of Lapeer County Animal Control Facility Addition at 2396 West Genesee. Take it away, Al.
yes, so Lapeer County Animal Control at 2396 West Genesee has provided a site plan for a building expansion. This is an area of the county site, which entails also the Lapeer. Here's a close-up view of that specific site from Lapeer County Animal Control, from the other uses on the site in the county. It is currently zoned in the B1 Neighborhood Business District. The existing site has been provided by the applicant, stretching from the property. I've zoomed in here for a little tighter. In the middle of the property, you will see right there the existing building, existing parking, lands, to the rear. The applicant of the site, as you can see, for the existing building, including the expansion to the south and to the west, into the north. I've zoomed in on that site plan here. As you can see that there is an expansion of equal size to the existing building. Review when we get to the landscaping here in a second. Here's the lighting plan off the building. As you can see, this is all the parking area to the south. The landscaping plan gives a pretty good view of the proposed site. So as you said, this building is expanding. There is going to be a drive here to drop off animals or any visitors or guests. They provide additional landscaping, and presume that they're going to be restriping the parking lot. There's still ample room between the expanding building and room to navigate around to this side and exit to the west. These are the south elevations of the site. So with the same front doors, the building expansion to the south and east. This is the east elevations of the site. The west changes. Is there any changes in the west? No. The west is pretty much stays the same. Are you reskinning it, right?
Yeah, just,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So providing new materials, as well as the north elevation from the rear of the building looking down. As you can see, there's a garage door. The animals. Other department reviews, there's no comments at this time from assessing building, fire, or DPW, with the exception of sewer tap fee requirements. Road professional service engineer has provided a few comments. There's some related items to topography, drainage, stormwater management, sanitary sewer line, and other items. I believe the applicant isn't proposing too many changes, but it appeared that there's maybe some details that the engineer may want to look at. So with that being said, standards of approval are the use, site design characteristics, building design, prevention of significant natural features, site access and circulation, commercial vehicle access, traffic impacts, other general development requirements, utility and stormwater, other agency reviews, and hazardous materials. With that being said, we recommend approval that they meet any outstanding staff review from the engineer's comment.
Thank you, Alex. Pretty straightforward one. Any open discussion? I think the applicant's here today too. If they have any questions, well.
Is it not big enough for fire suppression yet?
No,
Still falls
no,
under?
it still falls under.
I'm a little concerned about that essentially brand new driveway there and some heavy construction traffic driving over it. Is there any way for us to kind of protect that driveway?
Mike, are you referring to the one to the south of the site?
The county just,
Yep, that goes down on the
the
west
one
end.
county just redid, the new drive.
This one here, Mike?
No, that's up by the administration building. I'm talking about the one that goes south to
Oh,
West Genesee.
south. Yeah, the West Genesee, okay. That's a great question. I think the applicant can determine if they're
Yeah,
using
probably.
access drive or.
Yeah, majority of the traffic, I would assume, would be coming in off the backside because they're gonna be maintaining the operation during construction and expansion. So specs that they are not allowed to be parking out front and all that to maintain that area and that access around.
Could we make that a requirement of site plan approval?
Yeah. Apply certain conditions, definitely for the project, ensure public health, safety, welfare, and of any improvements or things that have been noted to the site.
So they would be made to come down Village West Drive north up into the back section and not through the the city public administration buildings.
Yeah, of course, I've been on the administrative side of this as well. It's not like if somebody takes their one work truck a day down there, it's going to be the end of the world. But you put 30 or 40 big trucks through there, it could be a problem.
Any more on that?
All right, I'd make a motion that we approve of the Lapeer County Animal Control Facility addition at 2396 West Genesee Street as presented. And construction traffic shall utilize Village West Drive instead of the driveway into the main part of the complex.
Support.
Got a motion and discussion? Seeing none, I guess we will take a vote. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Seeing none, motion carried. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And now add our section 1 into that. I'm going to assume it's that packet is in front of you. Name of this one, City Manager Womack.
Yeah, so nothing really tonight, but we do have to set a
Yes.
public hearing for the next agenda, so I appreciate the board letting me put this on the agenda so we can do it next time. As you guys likely know, because I believe it was emailed to you a couple days ago, the city attorney has completed his review of the proposed ordinances that the city commission has asked to see regarding the marijuana ordinances. Of course, I had a hand in that as well. I think it's going to accomplish what the city commissioners have asked it to. I believe it's 4 out of 6. 4 out of 6 of those are zoning ordinances, which of course under the Michigan Zoning Enabling Act has to be recommended to the commission. So what I anticipate the timeline will be is that all ordinances will be sent to the city commission at their next meeting. They will review them, they will refer the zoning ordinances back to this board. And of course, this board is already going to have that on their agenda because this board meets after the commission meets next. This board will then review and possibly recommend back to the city commission, and they will see that at their next following meeting. So we got 3 commission meetings before they can approve it, and this board will see it at least once. So that being said, I'd like to set a public hearing for this board at their November meeting to review and possibly recommend those ordinances to the city commission. I would make that motion.
I will support that motion. Any discussion? All those in favor? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. All right, now we go to our correspondence. Pretty much as is in the back, all right? Anybody have any questions on it?
Alex, can you get these businesses to build their, buildings and stuff?
Yeah, I found a pot of money and it's gonna let me to combine.
It's all gonna happen 1 week, right? In like literally 1 week,
Yeah.
everything
The
will
money's
get
in
done.
help though, so that means it's
Do it before frost laws.
As quickly as the new bank is going up.
Yeah.
I'll just see the other ones go up.
All right, and then I guess any discussion on the correspondence? No, I didn't hear any or see any. I guess we will move on to training report. It looks like there's a few things up there.
Yeah, certainly. So just a few trainings to know. Some of the ones are still here. So coming up, virtual training, net zero for local governments, technology efficiency, mission associated planning. There's also the virtual training for RRC child care readiness toolkit webinar. It's online. MSU Extension has the renewable energy workshop with Long Eagle. It's actually quite good. I was at the conference for mission associated planning. But this training will be in Kalamazoo. The MSU Extension also online is conducting a training on the land division review process with some very good presenters. And lastly, going into obviously nothing during the holidays and early winter, but in February, they're actually doing transportation bonanza again. This is going to be online. It's a 2-day training, everything from getting to schools, safe routes, etc. So those are pretty much the latest and greatest until a whole new batch of training coming into the spring. So,
Thank you very much.
Are you teaching any of those?
I was actually going to talk about
Tickets.
the renewable one, but that's for a more of a different training possibly next year. So.
These virtual trainings are still through the Row website.
We don't have them on our.
I'm trying to think, because I've done the virtual and it was in conjunction with Row, but I don't remember kind of how I got there.
We probably just emailed the link. So a lot of the training is provided through either Michigan Association of Planning,
Okay.
Or Michigan State Extension. They have a planning and zoning division.
Okay.
Which is really, really good. I think it's the best training there is, really. And then, they also have Citizen Planner, which you guys are familiar with, which is online and virtual. And then there's the zoning administrator training. That's like once a year. That's in February. I think that's filled up. So.
Ms. Hodge, could you send us an email regarding some of these trainings, please?
Yeah.
Which I'm sure Alex can help you with. And we still have a budget for these classes, right? So I guess if one of these classes costs money, contact Ms. Hodge and she can help you get signed up for it.
Or reimburse, whichever.
Yeah, sounds good. Any more on the training report? All right, so we'll go to commissioner comments. Commissioner Johnson,
Good.
Commissioner Atwood.
I have nothing.
Oh, I thought you were going to spiel.
I know.
I thought you had something. Vice Chair Roberts,
Didn't see everyone.
City Manager Woman.
Good guys tied it up. It's 1-1 in the top of the third.
There you go.
And I'm a little jealous of Mr. Atwood's what he's got going on there. You got something, we got that.
Nice Quicksilver. Yeah. Where you look? Dosky sound on him. You get a Quicksilver hoodie.
Thanks.
I have nothing. Thank you very much. And I can make a motion for adjournment.
Don't even get a motion.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, adjournment. Yeah. Sorry. It's on there.
28 minutes.
That's gotta be a
It's a-
record.
I don't think it's a record, to tell you the truth.
No?
No. We had when I first started, there was some like
It'd be good if they were longer, because then that would mean we
Yes.
businesses.
That was the bad part, is I think the only, we had to meet for some like stuff. And
It's an
like a
election
whole year, we went with nothing.
year too, so you got that.
That was,
A lot of
And
people
then-
want to see who the,
Yeah, who we like.
well, and where the rates are gonna be at.
we got flooded though, like right after that house, that thing.
Yeah.
What we're about to talk about next year.
I'm married to a mortgage person, we can't lower interest rates quick enough, so.
I don't even know what they are.
Yeah, me
They're going up, they're not going down.
You?
My house is literally like almost paid off.